Nordiques. It's Bernier, Bordelot, and Guite. And from the faceoff, a quick shot that Brodeur had to grab. And he has been most effective with that glove hand.
He really
They've got
has.
to keep it down on him if they want to get it by him.
He's literally unbeatable in that situation, Don, and the Jets have got to get a goal here. They've still got a fair amount of time left. 11:34 in this period and still 20 in the third, but a goal would give them the lift they need.
Riviere behind the goal, up along the boards. Ford fighting for it along with Guite. Lynn comes in to help out, over to Sullivan. Sullivan tries to set up LeBratton. He takes the shot, he scores! Dan LeBratton from a sharp angle got that shot away low on the stick side and beat Brodeur, and it's 3-1.
Well, the Jets persisted, Don. They finally got that goal. Here it is again. Here's the play forming up inside the blue line. There is careless clearing on the part of the Nordiques, and LeBratton put his stick out and pounds it home past Brodeur. All right, we'll watch it from the other angle now. Here's the puck rolling to him as the Quebec team couldn't pick it up. Right past him. It surprised him, I think, the fact that he got the puck and got the chance to shoot.
For LeBratton, Don, that is his 7th playoff goal, and with 17 assists, he has 24 points.
Goal is 7th goal of the series, scored by number 21, Dan LeBratton. Assist number 5, Mike Ford, and number 10, Peter Sullivan, at 8 minutes 39 seconds.
Ford and Sullivan drawing assists on the goal by LeBratton. A pass over on the right wing, and Lawson just had it deflected away from him by Bernier. It's shot down the ice into the Winnipeg zone as Long goes back to touch it. The Nordiques are called for icing.
All right, let's see how the Winnipeg Jets react. That has to give them a lift. It's gotten them back in this game within a 2-goal deficit now. LeBratton scoring. They've got about half this period left and still the third. What they have to do is pounce offensively on Quebec right now and carry over this momentum to try to offset the lead and the enthusiasm of this Quebec crowd.
It almost seemed as though Brodeur was not quite set for that shot by LeBratton, as LeBratton caught the short side, the stick side of Rochard Brodeur.
He was surprised to see him with a chance to shoot.
Bernier trying to play it along the boards, flipped it up over the glass and out of play, and we'll have that face-off over again in the Quebec zone. 10:48 remaining in this middle frame. 3-1. Quebec leads the Winnipeg Jets. 2-1 was the score in favor of Winnipeg the first game. Quebec bounced back for a 6-1 win. Then Winnipeg won 6-1. Quebec 4-2 and 8-3, and then Winnipeg 12-3, and now it's 3-1 for the Nordiques. Up along the boards to Cloutier, to Tremblay. Long shot. Daly moves it. Long shot. And Joe Daly lost at his feet. Well, any momentum the Jets may have had would be lost right there. That puck seemed to dive. That long shot by Tremblay, it seemed to dive right at Daly's feet and trickled on through. And that brings a smile to the countenance of J.C. Tremblay and many of the spectators here in Le Colisée.
It's the routine kind of shot a defenseman will make. He reaches center ice and simply drives it in. The idea being everybody plows in after the puck. This dropped on Daly, as you said, Don, and got right through his legs for goal number 4. It couldn't have come at a better time for Quebec or a worse time for Winnipeg, because they've lost all that momentum they had with their first goal. Here's Tremblay skating slowly at center ice, winding up and slapping it. Here's the puck dropping right at his feet and going to his legs. 4-1.
A pass to Danny Lawson. Lawson was offside.
Nordiques goal is second goal of the series, scored by number 3, Jean-Claude Tremblay. Assist number 9, Réal Cloutier, and number 8, McDutsy.
9:24 is the time of the goal. Don't forget, in the sports special, the Canada Cup from Vancouver coming up Saturday. Don?
Riviere in his own zone, playing it up along the right side. Very long in the center ice area to Green. Green shoots it down into the Quebec zone. Taken by Lacombe. Lacombe over to Tardif. Tardif off the boards to Bordelot. He dumps it ahead. Cloutier couldn't catch up with it. And Green for the Jets. Tries a pass that is picked off by Cloutier. Cloutier then loses it to Lawson. Lawson breaking in back to Fran Huck. Huck tried to set up Green, and it's intercepted by the Nordiques with Bordelot starting back. Long shot that Long dropped in front of, and then Green deflected it out into the center ice area. Cloutier tries it again for Quebec. Over to Tardif, right in front, and Daly makes the save.
And the frustration on the face of Tardif. He had Daly dead to rights, and then he couldn't find the puck. He couldn't get control of it right on the goal crease. That would have been number 5. Here it is, Cloutier organizing the play, sweeping around the Winnipeg defense, and then lays down that letter-perfect pass right across the goal mouth. And then the frustration of Tardif getting right in and only dribbling a weak shot without any force under the pads of Daly.
I think with Fran Huck coming in against Tardif, he may have prevented him from really getting a good shot away and getting it up as he wanted to. Head bare to Bobby Hull. Hull couldn't control it at the line, and it's shot back into the Winnipeg zone. But the Nordiques had 3 players trapped in across the line offside.
All the scoring has come in the second period. Pitcher, Tardif, Cloutier, and then LeBlanc for Winnipeg made it 3-1. The 4th goal from center ice scored by J.C. Tremblay. Reminder again about that Canada Cup swimming competition. It'll be on the Saturday Sports Special on Saturday afternoon right here on CBC. A reminder also about the FA Cup final, also Saturday, last week's game from Wembley Stadium.
There, down and across the line, tried to center it. It goes loose in the corner. Bernier along the boards, out to center ice. Fitchner for the Nordiques. Against Ford. Ford takes it away from him. Ford working across the line, back behind Bobby Hull as he tried to drop it back. A right wing pass for Sutherland. He's got Brackenbury with him. Sutherland shoots. Daly got a toe on it. Now it's Nielsen ahead to Hull. Hull had it poked away from him by Bernier. It's Fitchner for the Nordiques working down to the line. Hull knocks it away from him, and it's dumped back out to the line, and the Nordiques again are caught on the offside.
Well, that's an example as Bobby Crom looks perplexed with good reason to be his team down 4-1. Just a horrible pass inside the blue line as the Jets forward 4 attackers in, 4-on-2.
Yes, if he could have got that pass to Bobby Hull, the Golden Jet may have been able to unload one. However, it was behind him.
Well, at the Quebec bench, all is well. Coach Boileau is still with us. They lead 4-1.
Harry Miller tried to play it along the boards. It bounced off Bernier. Now it comes loose, and the long pass on the right side goes to Willie Lindstrom. Lindstrom working to the corner against the comb. He falls as he tries to go behind the net. And on the right side, it's dumped ahead. Duguay now coming back for the Nordiques. Working to the corner against Dunn. They bump together. Bordelot picks up the puck. Back to the line to Riviere. Here's his shot. Daly makes the save. Bordelot working to the corner. Tried to center it, and it's picked off by Sullivan. Sullivan turns in his own zone. A pass over to LeBratton. LeBratton dumps it to center ice. He's taken out of the play by Riviere. Duguay now. Back in his own zone for the Nordiques. A pass to Cloutier. Cloutier gets away from Dunn, then runs into Lindstrom. The puck goes loose. Dubé takes the shot. It's wide and goes to the other side. LeBratton trying to move it out of there. Cloutier is there, and so is Bernier. Back to Cloutier. Cloutier going right in. He takes the shot, and Daly makes the save. And we have another altercation in the Winnipeg zone. Dubé is involved in this one. I'm not sure whether it's Lindstrom again or not. Those were the 2 penalized players earlier in this period, both drawing 2-minute sentences plus a 5-minute major for fighting. 4-1 is the score in this second period, and this is WHA playoff hockey from Quebec City.
Sometimes when you have a get-together, it's hard to please everybody. Some folks like one kind of beer, and other folks prefer another. The 2-4 split from Carling O'Keefe can handle both. Because inside, you get 12 easy-drinking O'Keefe and 12 great-tasting OVs. The 2-4 split from Carling O'Keefe. Great for parties. Or take one home yourself and enjoy the next week or two deciding which you think is our better half.
Play just underway. A long shot by Lesuc bounces off a leg. Tardif clears it to the corner. Tardif, behind his own net, manages to poke it up on the right side to Cloutier. Back to J.C. Tremblay. Tremblay dumps it down into the Winnipeg zone. Tardif races after it, trying to center it. It bounces off Green. It goes loose. Bordelot coming in to help out. Gets it. Circling, takes the shot. Off a leg and out into the center ice area. 6:57 remaining in this second period. Quebec leading 4-1. At center ice, the loose puck picked up by Guindon. He's bodied off it. And it's shot down into the Quebec zone by Green. The Jets changing on the move. Tremblay working down to the Winnipeg line against Green. He goes around him, still has the puck. Back to the point to Wally Weir. Weir tried to kick it, and Hedberg clears it down the ice. J.C. Tremblay is back there after it. Tremblay up into the center ice area to Brackenbury. Brackenbury dumps it down into the Winnipeg zone. Sullivan to Hedberg. Hedberg working out across the line. Shoots it down into the Quebec zone. In the corner, it's Bobby Hull. He leaves it for Hedberg. Hedberg tried to set up Nielsen. Nielsen in the corner to Sullivan. Sullivan couldn't, or Hedberg, I should say, couldn't go anywhere with it. And now coming back is Fitchner. Fitchner for the Nordiques. Down and across the line. Joubert takes the pass. Ahead to Nielsen. To Hedberg. Hedberg tried to feed Nielsen, and it's broken up by the Nordiques. Dumped back to center ice again as Bobby Hull comes back after it. Hull to Nielsen. Nielsen dodges a check from Paulin Bordelot. Plays it to Ford. Ford to Willie Lindstrom. Lindstrom, long shot. And Brodeur drops in front of it and hangs on.
Good drive, unfortunately, right at him, and he had an unobstructed view of it. Brodeur with a glove, reacting very quickly once again, coming up to defend on that hard blast. 5:24 remaining here in the second period, and Joe Daly allowed a very important goal in. As you see some repair work there on the stick by Bordelot of the Quebec Nordiques. Daly on that shot from center ice by J.C. Tremblay gave up goal number 4, and that really took the sting out of a Winnipeg attack. I thought at that point Don was gathering some momentum.
It appeared to be, and then that very easy goal, certainly not one that Joe Daly would consider easy, however, as I'm sure that shot fooled him. He appeared to have it played perfectly, and then all of a sudden it seemed to drop right at his feet.
There's no way Tremblay was figuring to score. As I said, he was simply playing it in and hoping the forwards would dig in after it.
5:24 as Sullivan tries to play it back to the point. There was nobody there. Perry Miller has to go back into the center ice area and wait for his mates to get organized. It's shot into the Quebec zone. In the corner, Dubé for the Nordiques, fighting with Sullivan. The Riviere also comes in to help out, and it's played up along the boards to Bernier. Bernier to Dubé. Dubé tried to pass for Bordelot, but Bordelot was offside as he and Perry Miller were all tangled up as they carried in across the Winnipeg line.
Well, it's more than home ice advantage. Of course, this crowd and the organist and the singing and the enthusiasm has been a big factor for the Quebec Nordiques. But they are simply outplaying the Winnipeg Jets tonight. 18-16 in shots on goal favor Winnipeg. But bear in mind, many of those were from long range, the ones by the Jets. The best close-in chances of all come virtually from the Quebec hockey team.
Bernier back to his own line to Lacombe. On the right side for the Riviere, who shoots it down into the Winnipeg zone. Daly plays it along the boards, but Paulin Bordelot picks it up for the Nordiques. He shoots it in behind the goal, then Lindstrom goes in there. He gets it to Dunn. Dunn tries to play it out. It's kept in by Bernier. Back to the point. Le Riviere, his shot, he scores!
Taylor's happy. It's 5-1 now. That one, I think, got through cleanly, Don, with no deflection. That shot from the Riviere.
The Riviere, a mid-season acquisition from the Phoenix Roadrunners, has let go a couple of good shots from the point. This was one of them. Watch this low drive, and we'll see if anyone deflected it.
I believe that was his all the way. I'm not sure if number 20 for Quebec, Dubé, got a stick on it. I don't think so. We'll wait for the announcement and pick it up once again. Here's a shot now from the low angle. Coming back to the Riviere. He set up a previous goal, tipped in by Cloutier.
I think Dubé got his stick on it to deflect it.
Dubé then does get this
Joe
one.
Daly.
So two great shots by the Riviere. He gets only 2 assists as the shots were redirected.
Cloutier deflected the first drive by the Riviere.
Nordiques scored his third goal of the series, scored by number 20, Normand Dubé. Assist number 5, Gary Larivière, and number 21, Serge Bernier, at 15 minutes, 23 seconds.
So it's 5-1 for Quebec. Remarkably, a tremendous turnaround for this Quebec hockey team, coming off a 12-3 disgrace for them in Winnipeg just 48 hours ago.
All 6 goals have been scored in this second period. Tardif plays it back to Tremblay. Tremblay tried to return the pass. It bounces off the boards, and Teddy Green breaks it up in the center ice area. Tremblay trying to reorganize again in his own zone to Bernier. Bernier off the boards, down to the Winnipeg line. Green had trouble with it, over to Long. He dodges one check, then another, working to the center line, down into the Quebec line to Lawson. Lawson against the boards with Bernier. The puck is played in behind the net, and now it's J.C. Tremblay moving up on the right side. Pass ahead to Cloutier. Cloutier over on the other wing to Mark Tardif. Tardif in the center ice area has it taken away by Guindon. His pass too far for Fran Huck, and Tremblay goes back into his own zone after it. Tremblay to Bernier. Off the boards to Bordelot. Bordelot couldn't control it, and it's Guindon coming back for the Jets. On the left side to Fran Huck. Huck tried to play it behind the net to Guindon, and he had gone the other way. It's dumped out into the center ice area to Ted Green. Ted Green for the Jets now, shoots it down into the Quebec zone. Tremblay going after it, along with Fran Huck. They fight for it behind the net. Huck gets to it, tried to feed it back to the point, and it was picked off by Cloutier. Cloutier over to Bordelot. Bordelot tried to drop it back to Mark Tardif, and Bobby Hull coming back, intercepted. Now it's Hull for the Jets. Takes the long shot, and Beaulieu got a piece of it. Hull raced in trying for the rebound, and both he and Hedberg fell as they went to the corner. Bordelot now working down in the line. He takes the shot. It's wide. The Riviere from the other point takes another shot. It goes wide. Lacombe back at the line, feeds it in the corner to Sutherland. Sutherland trying to get it out in front, and it was broken up by Schubert. To Bobby Hull. To Hedberg. Going around Lacombe, working to the corner. He tried to center it, and he was taken out of the play by Brackenbury. Coming back for the Nordiques, Fitchner. Fitchner lost it at the line as he was bodied by Schubert. And Nielsen for the Jets plays it to Hull. Hull over on the left side, too far for Hedberg. Hedberg goes to the corner. It goes in behind the net to Nielsen. Nielsen has it poked away from him. Hedberg manages to get to it. His shot was kicked out by Brodeur. Nielsen trying to set up Hull, and it bounced off a skate to Lacombe. Lacombe to Brackenbury to Fitchner. Fitchner down to the line. He's got Sutherland with him. Shoots it in the corner. Behind the net, it's Schubert. Schubert starting out on the left side now. A pass to Ford. Ford shoots it down to the Quebec line. It's played back into the neutral zone. Schubert tries it again. Trying to go around Lacombe. He's taken out of the play, and Dubé flips it along the boards, along the right wing, all the way out to center ice. A race after the loose puck. Bernier gets to it. Bernier working to the corner, right up front. They score! Bordelot! making it 6-1.
That was among the prettiest of the half-dozen Quebec goals. Here's the play coming across the blue line. Swinging it out in front. Bordelot right there to drive it home into the corner past Joe Daly. Play was started by number 21, Serge Bernier. Bernier, watch Bordelot, 17, cruising and waiting. Out to him, one motion into the net.
And for Paulin Bordelot, his 12th goal of the playoff.
Six to 1 for Quebec.
Nordiques scored his 12th goal of the series. Dernière minute de jeu dans la deuxième période. Last minute of play in the second period. His 12th goal of the series scored by number 17, Paulin Bordelot, assist number 21, Serge Bernier, and number 22, François Lacombe, at 18 minutes, 41 seconds.
40 seconds remaining now in the period. Up along the left wing, too far for Bernier. Dunn plays it back into his own zone to Miller. Miller ahead to LeBratton to Lindstrom. Lindstrom tried to feed it to Peter Sullivan, and it was too far for him as Tremblay goes back into his own zone. Tremblay along the boards to Weir, up along the right side to Boucher, to Tardif. He dodges a check in his own zone. 14 seconds remaining in the period. Off the boards, but not out as it's kept in by Lindstrom. He shoots it to the corner. J.C. Tremblay for the Nordiques. Up along the right side to Bordelot, and there's the buzzer to end the second period with the Quebec Nordiques in front of the Winnipeg Jets by a score of 6-1. And how the Nordiques have exploded in this second period. They started just 11 seconds into the period with a goal by Fitchner, and then followed tallies by Tardif and Boucher before LeBratton scored for Winnipeg. But J.C. Tremblay, Dubois, and Bordelot have increased the advantage to 6-1 after 40 minutes. This is WHA playoff hockey from Quebec City.
Guys invited me over for a little game of hockey. But what they didn't tell me was that it was underwater hockey. I didn't even know there was such a thing as underwater hockey. But the game was invented in 1965, and now there are official rules in teams right across Canada. There are 5 men on a team, and you pass the puck and score goals just like regular hockey. They have penalties, too. He shoots. He scores. You know, you guys, I'll tell you, a little wet, and I didn't dress for it. There's one thing wrong with your sport. You don't freeze your rink hard enough. Listen, hey, it's a great game, and here's to you with O'Keefe.
Easy drinking, real nice and easy drinking.
And here's to you with O'Keefe.
Easy drinking, O'Keefe.
You know, if the Russians have heard about this game yet?
Well, disaster for the Winnipeg Jets in that second period. The Quebec Nordiques scored 6 goals, and Winnipeg was only able to come up with 1, so 6-1 at the end of 2 periods of play for the Quebec Nordiques. And Winnipeg is going to have to put on a most amazing comeback if they're going to retain the Avco World Trophy. We're waiting now for Serge Bernier to come into the studio. He's a very warm young man. He picked up a couple of assists in that period. Very nice assist in the last goal. Come on in, Serge, right over here. Congratulations, a big spurt by the Quebec Nordiques. What did Marc Boileau tell you between the first and second period to cause all that to happen?
Well, he didn't have anything to say, I guess. We all knew the important thing of the game, and we had to come out strong. And the first goal that Bob Fitchner got unassisted was the clutch for us. It was a big goal, tremendous shot, and I guess everybody put together after, and we got a few good chances, and we put it in.
Did that first goal take a little bit of the pressure off you? I'm sure everybody was terribly nervous, really tense before the game and all through the first period. And then when you get that 1-0 lead, that must make you relax a little bit.
Well, of course, when you take a 1-goal lead like that, you know, instead to be 1 behind, you're 1 ahead. It's 2 goals, eh? So that was the big difference in the second period. And we're going to be pretty hard to get now.
Oh, with a big lead like that. But then when Tardif got one with just over a minute later at 1:10 of the second period to make it 2-0, of course, that was a key. Then 2-0, you can really afford to pile it on, to take chances, and not to have to play defensive hockey to protect a 1-goal lead.
Well, they had to take a lot of chance, and they had to go 4 guys to go in our zone and to leave one defenseman by himself. That's when you get the breaks, and if you get a chance to put it in, like it took take a 3-goal lead. The third goal was a big goal, and when it came 3-1, when we scored the fourth one, it was a really big goal too. A 3-goal lead, it's very hard to come back.
I thought the goal by J.C. Tremblay that made it 4-1, that long shot from center ice that fooled Daly, I guess that took a little bit of something out of the Winnipeg team.
Well, maybe people are going to think that it's a very lucky goal. It is a lucky goal, but J.C. Tremblay practiced that shot every practice. Every time he's on the ice, he practiced that long shot. I don't know if you can see that replay, but the puck drops. He drops about that much, and you know, it's one of those goals who can put us right up there.
Okay, what do you do now with a 5-goal lead coming into the third period with only 20 minutes of hockey to play to win the championship? Do you sit back? Do you protect it? Do you play defensive hockey, or do you have enough goals to go out and try and score some more?
Well, I guess the best defensive is offensive, and we're going to go offensive 2 men in, and we're going to try to forecheck as well.
You've had a wonderful playoff, Serge. You're the leading scorer in the playoffs. I can't quite remember, 13 goals, 22 assists. You're the leading scorer. Congratulations to you. I know how much you want to play very well in that last 20 minutes and win it all.
Well, we're going to give everything we've got.
I'm sure you are. Thank you very much, Serge. Serge Bernier. We're going to move over here to a man who's a lot less happy than Serge Bernier, Lyle Moffat of the Winnipeg Jets, not dressed tonight. Lyle, I know how you're feeling right now. Pretty down, I guess.
Well, that's right, Bob. It's been disaster was the right word. It was a tough period for our guys, and I think the first goal, like you said, there's a lot of tension involved in the first period. We were trying to feel them out, they were trying to feel us out, and it just happened that they happened to score first, and they got a break, checking Alfie like they did. But I think that the goal that made the difference in the period was the one that J.C. Tremblay got. That was a big goal for them, and it might be the turning point in the hockey game.
You know, it's ironic, Lyle. We had Ulf with us, Ulf Nielsen, in the first intermission, and one of the things he said and he stressed was that nobody wanted to be the guy that made the first mistake to give the other team the first goal, and it turned out to be him, and he's a guy who doesn't make too many mistakes.
No, he doesn't, and he's so terrific with the puck. He can do a lot of things with it, and he handles it so well.